A preventable tragedy. Amber Thurman's story. Amber Thurman, a young mother from Georgia, should be alive today. She had her whole life ahead of her, filled with dreams and aspirations, but in 2022, those dreams were tragically cut short. Amber died from a completely treatable infection, a devastating consequence of Georgia's restrictive abortion ban. Amber's case isn't just heartbreaking, it's a horrifying example of how these laws directly harm women. The medical community agrees her death was entirely preventable. This wasn't a matter of medical complexity but of political interference creating a deadly obstacle course for women seeking essential health care. The tragedy of Amber's story is a wake-up call. It forces us to confront the very real human cost of these laws. These aren't abstract political debates, they are life and death situations playing out in hospitals across the country. We can't afford to stay silent. Trapped by time, the impact of Georgia's abortion ban. Amber Thurman found herself in a race against time, a race rigged from the start by Georgia's draconian abortion ban. Pregnant with twins, she knew the timing wasn't right, but the law, banning abortions after 6 weeks, gave her an impossible choice. 6 weeks, a time frame when many women don't even know they're pregnant. Forced to travel to North Carolina, where abortion remained legal, Amber faced delays and setbacks. The clock was ticking, and the system was designed to make her fail. Desperate, she opted for a 2-pill abortion, a safe and common procedure. But complications arose, and the nightmare began. Amber's story lays bare the cruel reality of these bans. They don't stop abortions, they make them more dangerous. They force women into desperate measures, pushing them further away from the care they need and deserve. This isn't about protecting life, it's about controlling women and punishing them for their choices. A system in crisis. The aftermath of Amber's death. When Amber Thurman died, the state of Georgia scrambled to distance itself from the tragedy. A committee was hastily assembled to review her case, and their findings were damning. The verdict? Amber's death was entirely preventable. The blame wasn't placed on some unforeseen medical anomaly but squarely on the system itself. The report highlighted the lack of policies and procedures at the hospital, a direct result of the chilling effect of Georgia's abortion ban. Doctors, fearing prosecution, hesitated. They were trapped between their duty to their patients and the threat of legal repercussions. The committee's conclusion was clear. Amber Thurman died because of a system designed to fail women. Her death was a direct consequence of political interference in healthcare, a chilling reminder that these laws have real-world consequences. The chilling effect, fear and confusion in medicine. Imagine being a doctor, sworn to do no harm, suddenly thrust into a legal and ethical minefield. This is the terrifying reality for healthcare providers across the country, grappling with the fallout of these abortion bans. The laws, often vaguely worded and open to interpretation, create a climate of fear and uncertainty. Doctors are left wondering, when does providing life-saving care become a criminal act? This chilling effect has real-world consequences, delaying or denying essential care to women in need. This isn't about abstract legal debates, it's about the raw fear felt by medical professionals on the front lines. They're being forced to choose between their oath to their patients and the threat of legal persecution. This is not how healthcare should function. This is not how we protect women. Section 5. Navigating a minefield, vague laws, real consequences. The life of the mother exception, touted by anti-abortion advocates as a safety net, is a cruel illusion. In reality, it's a legal minefield, riddled with ambiguity and open to subjective interpretation. Take Georgia's law, for example. It prohibits using instruments with the purpose of terminating a pregnancy. Sounds straightforward, right? Wrong. This vague language creates a chilling effect, forcing doctors to hesitate even when a woman's life is on the line. The result? Women like Amber Thurman are left to suffer the consequences. Doctors, fearing prosecution, delay or deny care, even when it's undeniably necessary. The so-called life of the mother exception isn't a safety net. It's a dangerous trap, putting women's lives at risk. Section 6. A life cut short. Amber's story, a human tragedy. Beyond the legal battles and political posturing lies a human tragedy. Amber Thurman isn't just a statistic, a cautionary tale. She was a daughter, a friend, a mother who loved her son fiercely. Her family remembers her infectious laugh, her kind heart, her dreams for the future. They remember the joy she brought to their lives, a joy now extinguished, leaving behind a void that can never be filled. Amber's story is a stark reminder that behind every headline, every political debate, there are real people whose lives are shattered. These laws have consequences, devastating consequences, for women, their families, and their communities. Section 7. The urgency for change, accountability, and action. Amber Thurman's death was a tragedy, but it doesn't have to be in vain. Her story must serve as a rallying cry, a catalyst for change. We cannot allow this to happen again. We cannot stand idly by as women's lives are treated as collateral damage in a political game. We need accountability. We need lawmakers to be held responsible for the dangerous laws they enact. We need hospitals to establish clear protocols, prioritizing patient care over legal threats. And we need to demand better. This isn't about politics, it's about basic human rights. Women deserve access to safe, legal, and essential health care. It's time to stop punishing women for their choices. It's time to choose compassion over control. It's time for change. Section 8. The power of investigation, unmasking injustice. In the face of such injustice, it's easy to feel powerless. But the truth has a way of coming to light, especially when dedicated journalists dare to dig deeper. Organizations like ProPublica, with their commitment to investigative journalism, play a vital role in holding the powerful accountable. Through meticulous research, they unearthed the truth behind Amber Thurman's death, exposing the systemic failures that led to this tragedy. They gave a voice to the voiceless, shining a light on the devastating consequences of these restrictive laws. Investigative journalism is essential to a functioning democracy. It's about speaking truth to power, about giving a platform to those who have been silenced. It's about demanding justice and holding those responsible accountable for their actions. Section 9. Beyond Amber, a nationwide crisis unfolds. Amber Thurman's story is heartbreakingly not unique. Across the country, women are facing similar struggles, caught in the crosshairs of a political war waged on their bodies. From Texas to Idaho, restrictive abortion bans are wreaking havoc, putting women's lives at risk. The stories are chillingly similar. Delayed care, miscarriages mismanaged, women denied life-saving treatment. The common thread? Fear. Fear instilled by laws that prioritize ideology over medical expertise, putting doctors in impossible situations and leaving women to suffer the consequences. This isn't just a problem in Georgia, it's a national crisis. We are witnessing a systematic dismantling of reproductive rights, a rollback of decades of progress. We cannot let this stand. We must fight back. Section 10. A call to action, our voices, our future. In the face of such overwhelming injustice, it's easy to feel helpless, to succumb to despair. But we cannot afford to remain silent. We must channel our anger into action, our grief into a powerful force for change. We can make a difference. Contact your representatives. Demand better from your elected officials. Support organizations fighting for reproductive rights. Donate your time, your money, your voice. Educate yourself and others. Break the silence surrounding this issue. Our voices have power. Our votes have power. The future of reproductive rights, the very lives of women across this country, depends on our willingness to fight for them. This is our moment. Let's make our voices heard. Section 11. The fight continues. Hope in the face of adversity. The road ahead will be long and arduous. The fight for reproductive justice requires unwavering commitment and resilience. But even in the face of such adversity, we must never give up hope. We must remember that we are not alone. Across the country, a powerful movement is building, fueled by the stories of women like Amber Thurman. It's a movement fueled by compassion, by a deep-seated belief in equality and justice for all. It's a movement that will not be silenced. The fight for reproductive rights is a fight for human rights. It's a fight for bodily autonomy, for the freedom to make our own choices about our lives and our futures. It's a fight we can win, but only if we stand together, raise our voices, and demand better.